Very good. All right, the next question. What's a radius? I need Miss Meany. What's a radius?
A radius is a point from the center of the circle to the, or at any point to the edge of the circle.
To the edge of the circle, the circumference.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
good.
the word.
Okay, so are all of the radii equal?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Because of the definition.
Exactly right, because of the definition of a circle. They're all equidistant. So the definition of a radius is the length of a line segment between the center and the circumference of the circle. Any questions on that? So let's go off and what's a diameter? Since we're talking about circle terms. Miss Latrice?
Okay, diameter is two points. 2 points on a circle that pass through the center.
Okay, so here's a point and here's a point and it's passing through the center and it's going like that? Is that what you're saying?
It's a chord. He's saying a line. It's a chord.
Well, we're talking, let's let Latrice, I want to get her opinion here. What, is that right?
I have a defined chord, so I can't use that to define.
A chord when you're singing.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back. Try to give me a better definition.
Two points that on the circle and form a line that passes through the center of the circle.
That's a good one. So we've got 2 points,
Form a segment, excuse me.
and they're on the opposite side, and the line goes through, and it passes through both points and the center. Does anybody disagree with that?
I disagree with
Who
that.
disagrees?
Does it have to go?
It doesn't have
Yes.
to extend.
The diameter. The diameter does. He said diameter. Diameter has to go through the center.
Okay. All right, class. Now wait a minute. If you want to come in on this, let's involve the whole class. So instead of just involving your neighbors. So wait a minute. First of all, Howard said it's not a line; it's a line segment. So we need to take that off.
Wasn't that a line segment that you had already? No.
Well, no, I was kind of making a line because she said a line, so I was taking her literally.
To be a line.
Well, I was going to put arrows on the end of it.
So a line goes on forever and ever and ever.
That's correct.
So it has to have the dots on the end, you're saying?
To be a line segment, that's correct. So, does anybody disagree with her definition? Very good. Because that's exactly what it is. It passes through the center and connects 2 points on the circumference. All right, so let's look at one more thing, I believe. And what does perpendicular mean? Aaron?
Two lines are perpendicular if they form a 90-degree angle.
So 2 lines are perpendicular if they form a 90-degree angle. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so let's make them lines. We don't want to get anybody upset here. Is that correct? Okay, Centuria?
Two lines bisect each other.
2 lines bisect each other. And what is the term bisect mean?
It cuts it in two, but it
It
doesn't have
means
to be
two. So
perpendicular.
if we were talking before, if we've got an infinite line and you cut it in 2, how do you know where the center is if it keeps on going forever? You really don't. You really don't. I think that's something that your head would blow up if you tried to think about too much. But that's a good point. So let's just take the simple one, and it's going to be 2 lines when they cross each other. They're going to form a 90-degree angle at the point of intersection. Okay?
That's the word I was looking for. Intersection.
Intersection. That's good. All right. So, what is a tangent line to a circle? Does anybody know?
It's a line that passes one point on the
It's
circle.
a line that I believe touches the circle exactly 1 point.
Okay, so it touches the line. It touches the circle at 1 point,
And it's perpendicular to the radius at that point.
Yes.
and so it's going like this, and it just touches that point and keeps going, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Very good.
And it forms a perpendicular line with the radius, as my colleague Phil said.
That's correct. So if we've got the center here and we've got the radius here, then this is going to form a 90-degree angle. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent. You guys learned the lesson well this week.
Honestly.
Honors class, right. But it doesn't intersect, so it doesn't actually penetrate the circle, it just touches it. All right, now we're going to go back over some of the essential formula that you're going to need to be able to solve these problems. There's things that you already know, so this ought to be a quick review for you. First of all, the equation for a circle. We've got x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And h and k is what?
The center of the circle.
The center of the circle, that's correct. All right, good. The next one is the distance formula. We may use this one today, we may not. But I wanted to bring it up because just in case we do, if we have time, we'll be able to go over it. So it's the square root of x2 minus x1, and all you need is 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2, and you take the 2 difference in x's plus the 2 difference in y's, square them, add them together, and take the square root, and that'll give you the distance between those 2 points. Next one is the slope formula. You guys probably know this more simply as rise over run. That's the way most people tend to remember it. But rise over run works really well if you've got a Cartesian coordinate system and the lines happen to intersect on perfect little places like 1, 2, and 3, 4. Works really well. But if it's in between, you're going to have to guess at it, and we don't guess in mathematics. We guess in statistics, but we don't guess in mathematics. Mathematics is very precise. The next formula we're going to need is the formula for a line. Y equals mx plus b. What is m, class?
Slope.
And what is b?
Intercept.
Y-intercept. Very good. Okay. Finally, we've got the slope-intercept form, which you know the slope and you need to know 1 point. This form will give you y equals mx plus b, and it's y minus y1 equals the slope times the quantity of x minus x1. We're going to be using this a lot. Yes, sir?
Now, I might be wrong, but is your name of that formula incorrect? Or is it just a different name that I'm not familiar with?
Oh, I was
It's
going to give you a
slope.
point slope formula.
And the other one is
And the other
point,
one.
and the other is slope intercept.
And I've corrected this on my other presentation, which I was downloading when Dr. Clark told me to close my laptop, so I couldn't download the right one. So this is this point slope formula. You're
Blame
correct.
it on the teacher.
Okay, so now we've got the tools that we need. We talk about slope a little bit. All right, slope of lines. There's the formula for it, which is rise over run, or the difference in the y's over the difference in the x's. There are actually 4 types of slopes. Ooh, let's get a little dizzy here. Okay, first one is we've got a 0 slope. That's where every change in x, there's no change in y. Essentially, it's a flat line, keeps on going. 0 slope, no slope. Positive slope, you're going uphill. You can think of this as you're going uphill. When x changes, the slope starts to increase, so for every increase in x on the x-axis, you get an increase in y, so it's always going up. Everybody understand that? Good. Negative slope. For the increase in x, y decreases, so you're actually going downhill. This is negative slope. And finally, we've got an undefined slope, because x doesn't change, but y changes. It's going straight up and down. That's an undefined slope. We don't run into that too many times, and we certainly won't be running into it in any of the test questions, so just keep this in the back of your mind. What's a radius? I need Miss Meany. What's a radius?
A radius is a point from the center of the circle to the, or any point to the edge of the circle.
To the edge of the circle, the circumference.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
good.
the word.
Okay, so are all of the radii equal?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Because of the definition.
Exactly right, because of the definition of a circle. They're all equidistant. Okay, Centauria?
They, 2 lines bisect each other.
2 lines bisect each other.
Mm-mm.
And what is What does the
I'm
term
right.
bisect mean?
It cuts it in two, but it doesn't
It
have
means
to be
two. So
perpendicular.
if you've got, if we were talking before, if we've got an infinite line and you cut it in two, how do you know where the center is if it keeps on going forever? You really don't. You really don't. And I think that's something that you probably, your head would blow up if you tried to think about too much.